on? What's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And it's Tuesday. What's up, everybody? Guess what? I see the Facebook junkies. They got right back on that Facebook. I knew it. I know. You know what, man? I got a nice little, I saw some on Facebook last night. I want to share with y'all. I got a question for y'all. But no, before I go, let me shout out to my starting five. Okay? Got a question for y'all. Alex Sestero is one of the starting five. Thaddeus Moody, Landon Ardwan. Who else we got? Daryl Anderson, Kim Jackson, and the sixth man is Tyrone Caldwell. Those are our starting five. Let me get them applause again. Starting five are the first five people that sign up into the Chop Shop feed. And yesterday we had a hiccup. See, now I hope y'all understand why I want you to be versed on more than one platform, and I'm working on another platform that we can go straight through ourselves. I'm working on it. They're doing some, y'all stay tuned for that, because guess what? You want to be control of your own destiny. Long time ago, I had a little, people was going back and forth talking about, man, if you go on YouTube, that'll take away from Facebook feed. I don't care. We can't let no one person have that much control of what how our show goes out. And what's so unique is one of the members, I ain't gonna tell Chop Shop viewers, gonna call me talking about how to YouTube save y'all. I said, no, it saved your ass. I said, it didn't save me because I just went and got me an early tea time. It saved you. It didn't save me. I would have went and hit that golf ball a little bit earlier that day. Shout out to Jason Peterson, all the way from East Memphis, Tennessee. This for you, Jason Peterson. And let me tell you something. I don't care where you watch it, but I am just talking about our addictive nature. I just got some questions for you. And share the show right quick. Y'all share it. Let's share it. Share it. Ain't enough people on yet. Share it. Hold on a second. Hey, Mate. Hey, Michael Jordan. Hey, Dale Griggs. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, we talked about that mess yesterday. We ain't talking about that stuff today. I'm not going to let Chris in today. You watch... She said, I watched on YouTube, but I can't figure out how to respond. It kept saying something about a channel. Dale Griggs, are you a subscriber to the YouTube channel? Are you a subscriber? If you're not, go over to YouTube, type in Chop Shop HDX on your YouTube and become a subscriber. I don't understand what you mean it kept saying about a channel. I don't know. Go Chop Shop HTX and go there and subscribe. Jason Peters, I know. I said, it said I would. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, congratulations to Bubba Wallace. Yes. Congratulations to Bubba Wallace. But back to this. But I want to share it with y'all. If y'all ain't seen the Bubba Wallace stuff on TV, y'all I got a question for y'all. What is Facebook to you? Thaddeus Moody, Dale Griggs, all of y'all on Facebook. Jameson Morrow, what is Facebook to you? Just asking, what is it to you? I don't want to hear your scientific definition, because I can tell you, I remember it was started as a social network for colleges, and it was invite only, right? Someone had to invite you, for college students who are able to communicate with one another. But I just want to know, since this stuff happened yesterday, what is it to you, a marketing tool? Okay, let's go. Give me somebody else. Rick Brown, Everybody. I mean, y'all can, if you're not on it, Mindy, what is it to you? I want to know. Alex Sestero, what is it to you? What is Facebook to you? Thad says a marketing tool. Michael Jordan said Facebook's keep me in touch with my older family members. Okay, I got you. Why don't you call them on the phone? Can't you FaceTime them? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Help me now. What? Ain't nobody typing. Oh my goodness, ain't typing today. Mindy, I saw that mess about Sage Steele. She's out of her. Yep. We're gonna talk about her ass tomorrow on Women Rock Win. Hey, I want you to get all y'all women tomorrow. We're gonna give Sage Steele, because we got guests and we got Big Doug might come on. We got guests today. So I'm just trying to get this Facebook stuff out the way. Mindy, there's some sick people like her in this world, though, Mindy. What does Facebook mean to you, Mindy? What does it? I know a lot of people are deactivating their accounts. Okay, have anybody ever heard somebody say, "Man, I'm off Facebook. I deactivated my account"? I know a lot of people. He said, Ivan Petty said keeps him in the loop of what's going on in the city with the fam and friends. Okay, so no other social media can do that. Only Facebook, you saying, Ivan Petty Jr.? I'm just curious. We talk on the prayer line every morning at 7 a.m. Okay, no other platform you can do that on. I'm just asking. Is there any other place? Alex said catch up with current events, provide. Alex, is there any other? Is it any other? So what did you do yesterday when it was down? What did you do? So you went freaking bananas yesterday when it was ground. You know what? I didn't even miss it yesterday. Y'all, hey, did y'all saw something? When I found out it was messed, do y'all see how I just said, okay? I don't let nothing consume me like that, y'all. I just haven't been a guy that I got that. Y'all got to understand, up until I started being on this show, Nicholas Best, all of my social media was private. Only for my family, not nobody else. Y'all wouldn't have been able to get in touch with me. And since I've been on this shop. Way to interact with family and friends. Rick Brown, that's the only way you can interact with them. Facebook is a way to stay connected, but it's also a false sense of reality because we mainly put happy things. 1 minute you see a happy couple post, and then Mindy, I didn't mean for you to go there. Mindy, I'm talking about what is your thing with Facebook. What's up, Nicholas? What you think about Facebook? Okay. Easier connection, okay. A tool to spread the word, okay. So you couldn't spread the word yesterday, right, Dr. Newsom? How did you spread the news yesterday, Dr. Newsom? All day. I'm just trying. Didn't miss it. I'm just trying to find out, y'all. A lot of productivity yesterday in the workplace. Thad Moody. I'm just trying, y'all. Listen, it ain't no trick question. I'm just trying to find out. Nicholas Best said he didn't even know it was down. Nicholas Best. I wouldn't have known it was down either, Nicholas Best, if somebody didn't tell me, if I didn't know y'all wasn't signing up on Nicholas Best. Think about it. I got a show that use it, Facebook, but I'm not totally dependent on it. Mike, I didn't know Facebook was off till somebody put it on the screen. Hey, see, Dale Griggs, she said, I was trying to get this football pot full. Look what happened. Look what happened. How many of y'all know some people who have deactivated their Facebook accounts before? I'm not on that much no more. See, now Facebook and what's the name of the Instagram? Did y'all realize? I'm going to tell you where it got me. WhatsApp, they own WhatsApp too. And that's how I interact with a lot of my people and clients overseas, through WhatsApp and Facebook and Facebook owns that too. So I had to go to the regular. I had to go to the regular cellular line. I couldn't go through WhatsApp yesterday. So I mean, and think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Facebook and Instagram. Now Instagram has morphed into OnlyFans. OnlyFans. I thought someone had Kelton Solomon said, I thought someone was made about me taking the Cowboys to win, put me in Facebook jail. See, think about that. Facebook is a place that puts you in jail. See, I've never been in Facebook jail because I don't use Facebook to talk crazy and cuss people out and talk negative to people. I use it to connect with y'all. Think about it. No, hold up. I'm not pushing YouTube either. Hold on. Dr. Newsom. No. I'm just talking about people's dependency on something that just shut off without you even knowing yesterday. It just shut off. And they use Twitter to announce. Think about this. They use Twitter to let us know that they went on. Budweiser using Coors to tell you what was going on. Oh, I'm on you. Hey, Dale Griggs, I can't help you. I'm not a tech person. You got to figure that one out yourself, baby. Somebody help Dale Griggs because I'm trying to do the show. I can't stop and help Dale with somebody help Dale. She said, I'm on YouTube now. It says create a channel and join the chat. I ain't never got that. First of all, do you have a Gmail account? I'll help you out. You have a Gmail account. Heather, I got it. Hey, let me tell you something. You can go, listen, you posting pictures of Trump. Yes. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on this Facebook, man. And I just want to know what y'all think about Facebook. What is the difference between Facebook and Twitter? Sports, portrait, event, photography. Can you do that on another platform? This is the only platform you can do it on is Facebook. So Facebook, y'all use Facebook for that much. So what did you do with your sports portraits, your event photography, and photography for groups yesterday, videography groups yesterday? How did y'all communicate yesterday, Michael Jordan? Hey, thank you, Sonya. Help us, Sonya. Help us, Sonya. I don't know what Mark Zuckerberg is. I don't even care what he is. The YouTube owner, everybody, there's a lot of Republicans out there. That ain't got nothing. I don't care if you. Oh, that is Moody. Look at that is Moody. Thank you, Thad. Thank you, Thad. So what is the difference between Facebook and Twitter? Y'all, I'm just trying to get information from y'all. Okay. He's a millionaire. Okay. Hey, hold on. What's the difference? Did y'all hear what I said earlier? I think y'all missed that one. Facebook went on Twitter to explain why they were down yesterday. They had to use a whole nother platform. Wow. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Darryl Bond said the difference between me is Twitter. You can directly communicate with companies such as ATT. Okay. Also, J.R. Smith can talk back to me. Okay. I got you. Hey, y'all, listen to me. The reason I'm telling y'all this, folks that were addicted to Facebook had withdrawal symptoms yesterday. I talked to a lot of them, Sonya, yesterday. They was going crazy. I told y'all a long time ago, if y'all ever remember, I always talk about how Facebook is. Y'all got to realize Facebook, we got about almost 5,000 people that we built up on our old Facebook friends platform that we just got shut out of, and we can't even get back in to tell them people that we on or got a new Facebook channel. Let me repeat that. Facebook, the Chop Shop. It used to be, y'all remember he said the unofficial Chop Shop? That whole thing got shut down. We couldn't even get back in without notice. Shut down. We couldn't get back in to send people a message saying we're going over to the next one. Hey, I'm just telling you, I know some people had withdrawals yesterday. They couldn't get their ass on Instagram. It was unbelievable. They couldn't get on Instagram. Hold on, y'all. Somebody calling me that don't know I got a show. Hold up, I will hit you back. I love being able to do that. Think about it. I did, y'all, when I thought about something, y'all, yesterday, I did not realize Facebook was not on until I saw y'all talking. Somebody said it on the show yesterday. I just, I didn't know. Facebook, for the most part, to me, the reason I'm not actively engaged in it, because I see a lot of mean and cruel people. Not everybody. I see a lot of mean and cruel people. I saw some stuff this morning, man. Hold up. I hope I can pull it up. Guy just talking negative. Hold up, no. I got to go. I got to go too. Guy pulled it up this morning. I got to just show you how people are. Who is he talking about? Hold up, y'all. I think I got it. I got to show y'all this. Somebody this morning, Myles Garrett posted a picture that he said, I go sleeveless for one game and they hit me with a random drug test. If you didn't know Myles Garrett, he real big. Somebody posted. Not NAGGA. I would piss test your ass every day. That ain't normal, not even for the league. People just, many lost business and revenue, but the most part, it was just entertainment that was lost. Somebody said. Facebook, to me, is a platform for negativity. When some people go after you on Facebook, you have a couple of options. Either don't respond or you feel obligated to let them know they can't get away with it. And they spread more negativity. See me, I don't need a 15,000 friends. That's just me. That's just me. That's why my thing is private. I got a chance to, I have the choice of rejecting you or not. Because I want to know. Yeah, I'm on the show, but I want to know. You know, it's people trying to be my friends on Facebook, and I messed around and clicked on. Next thing you know, they sending me stuff about, man, let's go into business. I erase their ass, block them right out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, But that's how the people and media determine how popular you are, by how many followers you got. How many people are hooked on Facebook? How many? If you're hooked, it's okay. How many people are critical of Facebook? As I've been right now. Dale Griggs says she hooked. That's good. So Dale Griggs, how did you react yesterday? How did you live yesterday? You know, some people find friends on the internet. Find your old friends. I found some old friends on the internet before. Did I learn about Twitter? Twitter is an opinion piece. Yeah. Yeah, they talk negative. So, I was about to tell you, concert, Twitter, listen to me. Yeah, okay. Because I know your ass just got on, whoever concert is, I know you just got on. I was talking about all of them. I'm talking about Facebook specifically because they ass up on Capitol Hill, Miss or Mr. Concert. I'm talking about them because Twitter ain't on Capitol Hill today. I know Twitter is an opinion machine. When people want to put their opinion out there, I understand that. Oh, I got you. Yeah, Dale Bishop. Yeah. Twitter, yeah. Twitter, listen, Dale Bishop, I'm talking about all of them. How familiar you are with social media, y'all? They use it as a popularity measure. They use it as a measure of effectiveness. It's people with 1 million followers, and I got a couple of doctors, a couple of doctors and PhDs that ain't got but 100 followers, and I follow them. I'm not following Nicki Minaj. Matter of fact, I don't think I follow no. You know what? I don't think I follow no star. No. Unless I know you, I don't follow you. That's just me. I saw you, Michael. Michael Jordan said Facebook is driven on negativity. Is Twitter driven on negativity? I like to delete the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. That's whenever I find you trolling and trolling this show, I know a button to get you off of this show. Can't nobody got time for that. Go get your own damn show. Facebook is a means of entertainment, just like TV. I get bored with it and turn it off for days. I like that. I like that, Jay. I used to stay and keep in contact. Hey, Jay, I got a question, Jay. Jay, do you have anybody in your friendship that you know that said, man, I'm not kidding. Man, I deactivated my account. See, I ain't never had to deactivate my account, Jay, because I don't engage in it. I know some people say, I said, watch the show on Facebook. Yo, that's one of the key reasons I got the thing on I wanted to make sure I got a YouTube also. Because because a friend of mine, a friend of mine who needed to watch the show. No, A guy who needed to watch the show in order to give us a sponsorship, he said he didn't have Facebook. He said, I'm not on that mess. So, yes, YouTube. Say YouTube, everybody's fine. Check this out. We had a troll on here the other day. And guess what? Mindy, Sonya Billings, them. See, I shouldn't have to deal with the trolls. Y'all should handle their ass unless you're a troll. Chuck McGowan said, all of this stuff get overwhelmed. Chuck, we got to talk about this stuff. You click on a picture, you best believe you will see whatever. Boy. Landon Oddwan said, majority of media is negative. Oh, let me put it on the screen so both people can see it. Facebook ain't gonna get me divorced. Y'all, it's just unbelievable. I was thinking about something. Is it possible that after 60 minutes, piece on Facebook, whistleblower last night, Facebook anticipated receiving government letters requesting preservation of records, standard prelude to investigations. So Facebook shut down the other day to scrub their database. Shout out to Bubba Wallace. Hold up, y'all. I got something for you.
I want to know what.
Hey, y'all. I don't know about y'all. Y'all can look up I had goosebumps going up my arm. Y'all remember this? The kid that mom came on TV and on the circuit, just talking about he need more sponsorship. That's why he couldn't be in certain races. Then Michael Jordan came to the rescue. That guy, y'all, everybody talking about, hey, who ain't this and who ain't that. He came to this kid's rescue. Michael Jordan, that's his first win as a team owner. Bubba Wallace, first career NASCAR Cup Series, becoming the first black driver to do it in 60 years. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Then you got a young black man from England named Lewis Hamilton just dominating that circuit over there. And Michael Jordan, I know I introduced a lot of people to Lewis Hamilton because I was introduced to it. But the stuff that young man is doing to diversify that sport over there is just unfreaking believable. Look him up, Lewis Hamilton. Young man who grew up. I mean, he's still the only black in his sport. And race Red Bull, y'all. As one reason I don't like Red Bull. When I found out the ownership of Red Bull and they fuel the Red Bull car and F1, and he's one of the most racist people out there. Not to say the other owners are not, but he when they started to bring the drivers together and sit down and say we race as one, he was against it. So it ain't but what 10 Formula One teams, and Lewis Hamilton is on top. Y'all ought to see the negative vitriol that he gets on social media anytime he does something. But shout out to Bubba Wallace. Shout out to Michael Jordan, a champion. You know, shout out to Michael Jordan, because if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, this kid, because Richard Petty backed off and couldn't afford Bubba Wallace. So Michael Jordan stepped in. Shout out to Michael Jordan, man, for being put in a position to be able to help this guy out, man. Don't forget that. Yeah, we can talk about Bubba, but if Bubba don't have no bread, Bubba, it won't happen. It won't happen. Still waiting on Jimmy and Doug. I don't know where the hell they at. But a couple of more things I want to share with you. I saw something. What is Trey Phillips on here? Oh, Chuck McGowan. Yes. Oh, Chuck McGowan. He off the chain. Oh, see, before every F1 race, Chuck McGowan, all the players kneel saying we raced one after the George Floyd thing. Right? He didn't want that to happen. He didn't want that to happen. Trey Phillips. Y'all got to help me with this, Trey Phillips. It's the NBA playoffs, right? Chuck McGowan. Yeah, I got it. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, hey, Barry, leave Urban Meyer. Hey, listen to me. I'm not mad at Urban Meyer. Y'all can be mad at Urban Meyer all you want to. But hold on. This is for Trey Phillips and Chuck McGowan. It's the WNBA playoffs, right? The top two seeds are on the verge of being eliminated, right? But today, I got to come on here and talk about the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream. I got to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Oh, this shit crazy.
Hey, go get
it's Mahomes coming. It's Mahomes coming. Oh, shit. They beating the shit out of somebody over here in this corner. Jesus Christ.
Trey Phillips, I know it was old, but Trey, it just was posted the other day. The Atlanta Dream got to be the most embarrassing team in the whole WNBA when their name keeps coming up. They got a girl want to fight. Hold up, I see why they fight. They got a girl on their team. They had to just tell don't show up no more. The food truck. Chris Walker. I see you, baby. Yep.
What up, boy?
What's happening? How about them?
What's the deal?
How about them? What you call them? What's the name?
Chargers?
The one that, how about them Chargers?
Man, please. You mean that team that we beat up on? That team?
Hey, y'all. Hold up, y'all. I got to tell y'all something about them Chargers, though, last night. Since Christian. Y'all got to help me. Hey, Trey, don't be making no excuses. Chris, did you see them women fighting for the Atlanta Dream fighting?
Hey, man, this is the thing that makes it so bad. The Atlanta Dream was a team that got Kelly Loeffler out of there. Remember that whole thing?
Yes.
And
Somebody said why I'm showing that itch. Cause I can, Keith Wood. You don't want to see it? Turn off. Turn the fuck off. I can
Don't
say
listen to him, Keith.
Keith.
Don't listen to him, Keith.
Hey, I showed it because I can. Now come on, Chris.
Don't listen to him, Keith.
Shit. Hey, hold up. I'm
That's
like
good.
that dude. Hey, Chris. This for Keith Wood. Hold on. I got something for him. Watch this. That's what I got for his ass. Now what were you about to say, Chris?
That must be your homeboy, man. That must be your homeboy, Keith.
No, but I know. Hey, talk about why I saw that. Why they out there fighting? Grown-ass women.
They crazy, man.
Then they got one teammate they had to put off the damn team. And you talking about
talk though. That's how those Cowboy fans get when y'all disrespect us. It's a scrap. I'm just letting you know, man.
Huh?
The Cowboy fans, y'all keep disrespecting us.
Hey, Chris, we ain't talking about them today now. Chris.
We not talking about Cowboys?
Chris,
Chris,
why you want to talk about them?
We the best team in football, dog. It's a great day to be a Cowboy, man. Every day. Come on, player.
I'm trying to see why they bring Renee Montgomery in. And now I see why they brought Renee Montgomery in. But if we keep hiding stuff that's happening in our community, uncle up there raping every one of the kids in your family, old ass uncle. Let's keep this under wraps. Don't tell everybody uncle is raped. No, let's put uncle's ass in jail.
What were they fighting over?
I don't know, Chris.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
This shit is ridiculous. And come on, just don't play that. Turn the damn thing off if you want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. I'm not Jerry Springer. They ass was Jerry. I ain't been out in the street fighting. Tell me how to do my damn show, no way. But what else you got, Chris? How you doing? I ain't telling you what you do with your job. Huh?
The Cowboys are winning, man. So life is good right now. It's just been a matter of time. We let the rest of the NFL catch up, win some championships, enjoy some Monday nights and Thursday nights and Sunday nights. So we don't have to
Chris, hold on, Chris. I want to hear. Chris.
Okay.
Chuck McGowan said it was over a comment. Okay, I'm done.
What else they gonna fight over, man? It had to be over something petty.
But Chris, just what I like though, Chris. I was thinking about last night. Tried to get. Hey, why didn't you answer the phone? You know what? People,
I did. I called you back.
You called me back 2 hours later.
No, I didn't. Did not.
Chris.
I did not. The game is at 5:15. You called me at 5:33. What am I supposed to do with that?
Chris, I'm just calling you when they call me.
Hold on. You called me at 5:33. Mm-hmm. I called you back at 6:39.
That's that ass hour.
It was a delay. I would have been good right then. It was a delay because of the weather.
But Chris, I got something for you.
That's what I thought. Keep moving.
The first time I think a dome stadium has had a weather delay. A weather delay last night. But did you realize?
Pretty bad. Lightning was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. But hold up. But Chris, that stadium, SoFi Stadium, is different. It's the way they built it was a lot different. It's open air. It's an open air stadium with a cover on it. Let me show y'all something. People who ain't never been in it, I think they're gonna give me a look. I don't know if this. That's how it looked outside yesterday. But there's an outside, inside. You see what I'm saying? That was the weather outside. So they had to delay the thing because they didn't want lightning to come. They hit the people. So these people are outside. They can go over a little bit where the stadium is over there. I guess they're going to take you to the stadium. So it's a unique way they built this thing. People who've never been there before, then you go around and then you come through and here's the stadium. But everything around the stadium is kind of like open air. And then they got this canopy up over the stadium. So it's a unique structure. Well, a great game was played last night. Let me tell you that. You remember we got mad when the doctor injected Tyrod Taylor and punctured his lung, and we was kidding. Not we was talking about, man, he did that for this boy to play, Justin Herbert, but Herbert, he's nice.
He's nice.
And Chris, he wasn't a highly touted recruit.
No, listen, he good. Yeah. That's all I know. He's a good player. I mean, things happen for a reason, man. I mean, I like Tyrod Taylor. He's an average NFL quarterback, but this kid here's got a chance to be a star. That's just what it is, man. You gotta call it out when you see it.
Chris, I'll never forget because I always watch Hard Knocks. I'll never forget Hard Knocks a few years ago. They had them on there, and all the veterans. Every time he threw the ball, all the veterans was talking about, "Damn, did you see that? Dang, you see that? Dang, you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see?" So, but Chris, you about 6'6", Chris.
Here's the thing. This when you try to, it's called situational intelligence. We always talk about it.
Okay.
You try not to be that guy that tells people they can't accomplish their dreams. That you try not to be that guy.
Okay.
But if you think that you're going to be Kyler Murray in the NFL, like, he's a unicorn. Right. That's Russell Wilson, those guys like that. That's generational, man. Mm-hmm. Those dudes are big as hell, man. 6'4", 6'6". How about those linemen? In the 1960s, how big was an offensive lineman? You think he was 6'6", 315? But if you 6'1" and you 280, you're not playing offensive line in the NFL. It's just different. But when it comes to basketball, them little ball beaters, right, Hatter? Everyone think the little ball beaters making it. Every little, I mean, I'm serious, man. Like you got to be unbelievable to be that size to be in the NFL. It's one of the reasons Jalen Hurts makes sure he's just small. Now they've created a different position where they run out of the pocket and all that kind of stuff, and the game has changed. But again, those guys like Tom Brady that can sit in there, they can see over those big linemen, right, and let the plays develop and willing to take the hit. They're great. Guys like Patrick Mahomes, those guys are big dudes, man. Quarterback. Why do you think the quarterback is always usually the guy that's going to be the MVP? It's the hardest job on the field. Period. It's the hardest job. That's why they have the chance to have the most imprint on the game. Except if you play for the Bears, and I forget what Thaddeus Moody, if he owned was it 84 Bears, 85 Bears.
Yeah,
and if you play for the Ravens when they had Trent Dilfer.
I
think he had Trent Dilfer. And then another year, who was a quarterback with the Buccaneers and they had that great defense. I want to say John Gruden was a coach, but
he was coach.
Quarterbacks are usually the guys that are really good. But in basketball, for some reason,
say what you just said again. The quarterback is what? Come on with that. Coach, we had somebody on the show trying to dispute what I was saying yesterday. The quarterback is what? Say it again.
The most important player on the field, period.
So,
period.
What I was trying to even relay yesterday is we worried about a black quarterback starting. But I want to see the black quarterback that not start. Hold up. You won't let start, but still get that money and sit on the bench and not play.
That ain't happening.
That's
that dude happen?
Listen.
Who is that dude?
That's when, because people talk about the black starting quarterback. Those are the super Negro. They want us to be the super Negro. They always want to promote the super Negro. I'm talking about what I was trying to explain yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, that, Brad Johnson, Troy, when are the days that come? That's when equity will be in. That's when, hold up.
Let me challenge that. Let me challenge that.
Okay.
Let me challenge that.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I would say is this. Mm-hmm. The players that say that are like us, right? That be like, okay, I played quarterback in college, and I can either be Cooper Rush or I can learn another position and make more money.
We're not talking about the young ones. No, I'm talking about the veteran. The black. There's some veterans out here that can play. What's like the boy? There's some veterans out here.
Like Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, they can. But it's not an abundance of them. That's the point I'm trying to make. I ain't saying they can't. If you're a young guy, you're gonna change positions. That's what I loved about Lamar Jackson. His mama said, if you put him in anything but quarterback, we're leaving the school. She told Petrino that at Louisville. If you put him in any other position, we're leaving the school.
Yeah, because a lot of people didn't think he could play quarterback.
Like Chase Daniel. He made $65 million and ain't nobody never seen his ass play. That's when we got it going on, Chris Walker. $65 million over the years, and you never seen it play?
But Hatter, here's the deal. In order for that to happen, the guys that are playing the position, to Jimmy's point, are always the super Negroes, like you say. The question is, when they can't do it anymore, when they're relegated to being possibly Jacoby Brissett or Tyrod Taylor, are we getting that job? Because it's going to take time to cycle into that. Because RG3 was a backup.
Excuse me, sir. You just. That's my argument, Chris. What the hell are you talking about?
What do you mean? I'm saying like it's going to take a while for it to cycle.
That's my argument. That's when I will be saying it's equal and it's equity in there. When guys like that can take up just as many spots instead of worrying about the guy that's starting, how we always do. Y'all always, he's starting. How many starting quarterbacks going to be in the NFL? I want to know how many backup quarterbacks. That's just me.
That's cool.
I want to know how many backup quarterbacks.
I think both is, good thing. But you make a good point. That's the thing that people really don't see, You know what I'm saying? Is that
I
those
tried
guys
to make
are
them
making
see it,
bread.
Chris. How
That's
can
they're
they
making
see
bread.
it if guys like us won't bring it up? How in the hell
But
can
Chase
people see it?
Daniel was a high draft pick, though, wasn't he? Hatter?
He wasn't great, but he been sitting on the bench for his rest of his. He ain't.
But I'm saying that money that he got, that was a high.
No,
That's
he
when he was
kept
early in his
being.
career.
All you got to do is keep being on the team. 9,
Yeah.
10, 6. That's all you got to do is keep being on the team. That's all. The whole the Charlie Batches of the world. They wouldn't allow. Hold up. They knew they wouldn't allow. They didn't want the circus that went with Kaepernick. But I'm just saying that's when me worried about some starting quarterbacks. If a black quarterback can start in the NFL, he's a super Negro to them.
Dude, listen. Somebody just said RG3 is a commentator. I thought that was RG3.
Yeah, he's a commentator. Why not?
He's pretty good.
Why he? Oh, he's great.
I was like, it kept saying Robert Griffin. I said, hold on. There are only about 2 black commentators that they let come on TV. So Robert Griffin, I kind of know that name. I said, is that Robert Griffin? My God.
Chase Daniel went undrafted, Chris.
What's that?
Thank you, Rick. See, Rick.
Rick Wilmer always know about those scrubs.
Hey, Rick. Notice, Rick, when I don't know it, I'll let them just say it. If I don't know, I'm not.
Yeah, I ask questions. I don't know. I mean, I just put it out there and people can get the information. But
you tried to make an excuse for your argument. That's what you did.
I'm just saying, was he? I'm saying, did he? I'm asking questions.
Okay.
That's why I like the boom moment, unless they talking crap about the Cowboys.
Okay. Excuse me. He was not a high draft pick. He was in Kansas City. He played well when he played, but should never got that man. Listen to me, y'all. The point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, because people like him. They try to just listen to me. The man made $60 million and y'all don't even know who that, $65 million, and y'all don't even know who in the hell he was. That's the point I'm trying to make. He just sit there.
Herb's stupid.
Every day. Oh, Herb gonna tell you,
Herb, he like Dellavedova. You know, he went and got him a lick. And we ain't heard from him since. Chase Daniels.
No, you're not listening, Chris. He didn't get a lick.
He's like Dellavedova. He got him a lick.
No. He got lick after lick after lick after lick after lick. He's the licker. Hey. He been licked.
Wow.
No, the point. And guess what? And if you don't know the history, maybe you didn't. You don't know where I'm coming from. And I understand that. Just said, Robert, I don't know the scope of this thing. I haven't, but me being around this business for 30 years, I've seen how they just throw away the black backup quarterback. So, all right, you can go do something else, player. But they're going to bring the Cooper Rushes of the world. And this dude here can't play day. This dude here that we got down here on Fannin and Kirby, he can't out. I'd rather have Chris Walker a little short.
I'll throw that thing. I'll throw that thing, boy.
Think about it, y'all.
But think about it. How is it possible? You're talking about the National Football League, right? But seriously, you're telling me that's, I mean, come on, man. That's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, man.
But Chris, I got to share something with you, Chris. Because y'all quit being mad at my dude. How in the hell can you get mad at this? How can... Let me tell you. How in the hell can y'all get mad at that?
No hands free. What the phone say? Hands free.
How can you? He tried to put his arm in the middle so the girl. Hey, y'all, ladies who don't understand, he put his arm down there to keep the girl from hitting up against his area. I ain't got the second video, Troy. But I'm not mad at Urban Meyer, man. He ain't got to apologize for that. Man, a cute little young gal want to dance on an old man. That's okay.
No, man. You listen, man.
No,
everybody not like you. Okay, the dude is a public figure. He can't do that. I'm just making excuses for it. It was crowded in there, man. It was no room. It was crowded. It was crowded, man. Come on, man.
I
He
ain't
probably
mad.
had a couple.
Y'all can be
He
Chris.
probably had a couple.
Oh, you know he done had a couple.
And he probably, man, you get a couple of shots of tequila, Casamigos, splash of Sprite with a lime on it. You know what I'm saying? Once you get a couple of those in you, you know how it is, man.
I don't know. I never had all that in me. I listen. I could have been sober.
Nectar of the gods. You like the nectar of the gods.
Excuse me. I could have been sober, and it was all right to me. Dance, girl, all you want to, girl. Man, I ain't mad at her.
What's the difference between that? What's the difference between that and him going to a place where they have professional dancers?
You talking about a cabaret?
You
talking about a cabaret?
And having a steak. What's wrong with that? And having a steak.
Now look who talking. You can't allow that to happen when you're 0-4. Yes, you can if you're a millionaire. Yes, you can.
Kim Jackson, don't listen to him, Kim Jackson.
Hey, Herb, millionaires got different rules from us.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
They have got different rules.
Why? Because they have money?
Of course.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they can do whatever they want.
He can do that.
So let me ask you a question. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room right now. If that was Robert Hatter and he was the 0-4 coach of the Jaguars, what do you think would happen?
First of all, if I was him, I was an 0-4 coach. That's the most games I done damn near lost. I'm really a winning coach. I'm just 0-4 with this terrible ass team they gave me in my first year. So guess what? But I got the complexion without protection. So guess what? It might. But you know what? I just don't believe in people getting. I just don't. That's not a fireable offense to me. If that was if that was Eric.
Oh no.
I don't think that's an offense.
Troy Bieniemy. See, Troy Bieniemy said if it was Eric Bieniemy, what would happen?
It might be a different story.
What you mean to be a different? Come on, man. This country, we progress beyond that. There's no.
You're a line sucker. You're a line sucker.
We progress beyond that, brother.
Yeah, Jimmy, say it first. Yeah, hold on, Jimmy. Jimmy, I got something, Jimmy. Man, you're a line sucker. Yeah. Hey, man. Yes, if it was Eric Bieniemy, he would have got fired. If it's any other black coach, he would have got fired.
You can't say that. I don't believe that.
What? Huh?
You can't say that. You can't say that.
I'm not getting on no team plane when I got a private plane. Jimmy, did you see Urban Meyer? They got another video. But Jimmy, what did this man do? Tell me what he did. I'm going to take you off mute, Jimmy. Jimmy, what did he do?
Well, you gotta watch.
He ain't paying no attention. That little guy that's rubbing up against that old rich man.
I know, but that right hand, he's getting
Jimmy,
you don't have that
right hand.
Jimmy, I know about the right hand.
Listen,
Jimmy,
the right hand up in the shooter.
No, I'm gonna tell you what he's doing, Jimmy. The right hand is to prevent her from getting up against his genital area.
With that right hand.
Jimmy, no.
Watch me draw it back.
Listen. You sound like Mike. What's his name?
Who? Mike Pence?
No. What's that? Comedian Mike. What's the funny Day? What do you call him?
Oh, Mike. What is
the one that wink and not the one that.
The one that wink, not the one that stank. Michael Epps.
Yo, man, y'all listen, man. Listen. That's ridiculous, man. See, people. First of all, what is Urban Meyer thinking? You're a public figure. Everybody got their phone on.
I don't care. I ain't did nothing wrong, Jimmy. All I'm telling you, Jimmy, I've been there, similar to in the times that I used to go someplace. If I go to a place, some little young girls like to rub up on those old dudes, right? So, Jimmy, I put the arm down, Jimmy, to keep her from brushing up against my area. Because then she going to get a little bit more excited. So, that's what I do, man.
There's been many times, Jimmy. In all truth, we've been out. There's many times.
His hand down there. His hand down there can be for two reasons. One, what I just said, and one, what you just said.
Right. Only
Urban Meyer and only that girl know. Because she know Now, how long did she stay there?
Shit, I wish she had to stay there all night. Cause they told her, Jimmy,
Man, you need to stop, man.
Jimmy, they took a picture together. Hey, y'all, I ain't mad at that. Now hold up.
just hanging out,
Hold up.
man.
I'd have been
Well,
mad
if
if
she
he had a
married-
boy. I'd have been mad if he had a boy
married-
dancing in his lap. Then I'd have had a problem. Long as he got a pretty girl dancing, I'm good.
Let me ask
in
you a
his
question.
lap,
Let me ask you a
then
question.
he would have been saved. They would have been hugging him right now. They'd have been like,
No,
"Yo, leave him
don't say
alone."
that, Jimmy.
Let me ask you a question. If
He
a
would have
rapper-
got the
if a
little
rapper-
Nas treatment if that would have been a boy.
No,
Urban
Jimmy-
Meyer would have
No,
got
he
the
wouldn't.
Jimmy,
little
I ain't mean to go there, Jimmy. I'm sorry. Because I know
Yeah,
you
don't go
finna
there,
go.
man.
Jimmy,
Don't go
no.
there.
Come on. We ain't
Let me
gonna
ask
go
you
there.
a
Okay.
So if he was like a rapper or something like that, and he was married, he brought a girl on stage and was dancing on that, or he's in the club, that's wrong. Because that's part of that lifestyle.
Hold up. Hey, guess what his wife tweeted? Guess what his wife tweeted, Jimmy?
The check cleared. That's what
Bring
she
her
tweeted.
home.
Get what the wife
Bring her
tweeted.
home.
No. The wife tweeted. She was getting the kids a bath or something like that. Let Buddy go out and play tonight. Let Buddy go out and play tonight. I like that wife. That's the kind of wife you need, boy. You got
Hey, you best believe that ain't
You best believe.
That ain't me.
You best believe.
Hey, Jim.
About.
Hey, Jim. Guess what I was listening to before the show? Jimmy, it came up. Somebody sent me. Yeah, I was watching Chris left. I was watching the Jimmy. This is what I was. I was watching the Temptations back in the back. You know, you seen the Temptations special, and they were talking about Lamont Dozier. So I was listening to him this morning, and he had this song, Jimmy. I'm gonna send it to you, called "Trying to Hold On to My Woman." I'm just trying to hold on. Let me tell you something. Urban Meyer just trying to hold on. His wife said, Buddy is out with the boys out there kicking it tonight. Let him have fun. So if she all right with it, why y'all all mad about it? Why y'all all mad about it if the wife all right?
Well, tell me this. What is the wife supposed to say?
She didn't have to say nothing.
Hold on. If she says something publicly, which she did, what is she supposed to say? If it was something bad, she's not going to say nothing bad publicly. She's not going to.
That's what I like about Jimmy. That's what I like about the lady.
So she said the public thing, the publicly correct thing to say. And that's what she did. That means let it be known. I acknowledge it. That, in other words, let people know that if y'all don't know us, you don't know my family, stay the hell out of our business. That's basically what that statement was. You know, good. We good.
Jimmy, this was my favorite, Jimmy. Let all y'all saying who did wrong. Hey, let the one without sin cast the first stone. If you ain't never did nothing like that, then you talk. But but we ain't gonna even go there. Jimmy, guess who's in the green room right now, getting his makeup on right now? Huh? Do you know Coach V? Coach V is in the dressing room getting his makeup on right now. And I know he done heard this conversation. We're talking about Urban Meyer, Coach V. Maybe you can shed some light on it. But Jimmy, give our guest the introduction, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, guys, you out there and we talking. It's time to shift gears on this Tuesday on the Chop Shop. If you're able to, even if you don't feel like it, make sure you take out the time to share the show right now. Let's share the show to your pages, to your social media platforms, to your groups. And we have a guy that's coming that's going to give. He's always coming and dropping nuggets. He's a former college coach. Now, let me get your attention again. He's a former college coach.
Yes, sir.
And with a lot of connections to plenty of his allies, when he are still within the coaching ranks, right? Mm-hmm. So that means if you're watching in the midst of this next conversation and you have questions regarding some of the recruitment of all things, or just in general related to basketball and recruiting, feel free to present your questions. This is the platform where everybody should feel comfortable doing so. You should not feel uncomfortable asking questions that could potentially save you thousands upon thousands of dollars or possibly get you a baby into school for free or next to nothing. Think about that. And people are embarrassed to, and the thing about it, people you're embarrassed to, that you're afraid to pose these questions in front of, are the very people who wish you asked the question because they are afraid to ask themselves. Let's get bold on the chop shop. Unapologetically bold when it comes to your babies. And that's what direction we want to go in. Without further ado, we got Coach Van Lanningham, and he's just call him Coach V. Yeah. And he does the uncommon camps, and right now it's in the fall, and he has some stuff coming to Houston this Sunday. Coach V, what's going on?
What up, Coach?
How are you guys, man? You guys are cracking me up, man, with Urban Meyer. I can't believe y'all can spend 25 minutes on that topic. That was the most amazing part. I mean, I don't know if y'all got I don't know if y'all really viewed out of the different questions on the same point, but I was crying laughing. Y'all had me belly laughing over here.
Coach V, I just got one question. Urban Meyer, what's the over and under? What time do you think he walked in the door and got home that night?
Oh man, I think he fell asleep in the back of the Uber, whatever you call it, the Ubers. I think he fell asleep in the Uber and his clock kept going. But he has enough money to pay the guy in the morning $7,000 because he fell asleep in the Uber. I wouldn't. I'd leave him in the back of my Uber and just sit there and let the money keep going.
Wait a minute. So somebody paid $7,000 for an Uber and he fell asleep?
No, I had a buddy once that had no money. Was acting like that, and he fell asleep in the Uber, and I told the old man, I'm just going to leave him here. I just left my buddy in the back of the Uber. In other words, you got to keep paying. I said, I'm going to go inside. I told him not to act like that. So y'all still have me cracking up. We may not talk about any recruiting after that topic. That's
no, Coach, you got to talk about it. No,
Mr. Hatter.
Yes.
Mr. Hatter, by the way, I broke your rule. That lady I gave my table to,
yeah.
Now she could sell at 12:38. She was still selling insurance. I left the coffee shop.
Okay.
I'm over here by my little duplex and poolside. You said don't leave. We're testing you there, Coach. I had to leave. She kept on talking. I said I'm in the wrong business. I'm trying to sell the process, and she's over here making millions selling insurance.
Okay.
So,
leave her alone.
I'm in a new location. It's a little bit more quiet, but I try to do my best setting my camera up.
And let me tell you something. You know what? Me and your our little synergy we have when we've been doing this thing over the last year. Let me show you something. You getting better at this thing, Doc. Every time everything get better. The latency of it is a little slow, but we hear you clear and you look good on the screen, man. So you did good.
I called my daughter in LA, my most critical child of all three. My sons were scared of me. And she said, when she told me, yeah, you're fine, Dad. You can go on the show. I tested it before I got on the show. Then with her thumbs up, I was ready to rock.
I told you them young people, man. Young people. The young people run this world. Hey, right quick, Coach, before we get into you, Barry McDonald, he said, Hatter, ask your opinion on Urban Meyer and his thought. Get your thoughts on what happened. How could that happen? Could that happen? I mean, I didn't see nothing too bad about it, Coach V. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. That's just me. Cause I live and let live. I didn't see nothing that bad about it. I can see if he had the girl by had her grabbed her by her hips, it was humping her. I could have saw that, but he didn't. I think he put his hand down there to keep the girl from rubbing up against his area down there. That's what I think happened.
Absolutely. I think he was doing the best he could to keep her off of him.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Now, Jimmy.
Now,
I don't know. I'm a one stop kind of guy, man. I'm a basketball guy, so I don't watch football, baseball. I don't know enough about anything other. I know about the mindset of an athlete that's a high level athlete, but I don't know. Is he losing now? Is that why he's in trouble?
Yeah. No, that's not why.
Simple,
that's
you
one reason.
Answer it. Well, you said, if he was number one in the country, that would be nothing.
Yeah. What?
If it was Nick Saban, then would the narrative be the same?
It wouldn't be Nick Saban. He's like me when he's studying notes at 5 in the morning. Like, you know, Nick Saban wouldn't be out. Nick Saban's locked in. He's obsessive compulsive like a mother. He wouldn't veer off. He'd get too nervous.
I don't know about that. I heard about Pretty Nick, but keep on going, Jimmy. That's his nickname. Okay, that's his
Pretty
nickname.
Nick?
Okay, I heard about
Well,
Pretty Nick.
They must come to his office because he's prepared as a mother. I mean, I got to get that.
Yeah.
I mean, but it doesn't. But Coach, it really matters less where they are. What matters the most is a person that's capable to video you in ear or eye shot. That's the thing. See, we're missing this.
Jimmy, he didn't look that way though, Jimmy. You notice he didn't turn toward the camera.
That's what I'm saying. So the person, that means you don't know you're being recorded. I've been in that situation this year. When a person recording you and you don't know that.
Oh man, it's all over now. That's one of my things I did at the last camp, because there's kids in Louisiana, Arkansas. I'm not saying, I mean, there's parents that need help, and I basically built them, and I can, like, a 3-page kind of cheat sheet. In all seriousness, I mean, it goes along with what y'all are talking about. I built these parents after the camp a 3-page cheat sheet on, like, social media do's and don'ts from a college coach's mind, not an ex-athlete's mind, not a trainer's mind, not a strength coach. I couldn't be a strength coach in Houston and make a kid stronger, but 20 years of sitting in the office and having to offer money and studying again. Even though as a college coach, I am obsessive about staying current and talking to college coaches about the current problems, the issues, and things of that. And so I'll take that information at my events, and whether the parents believe it's important or not, it's absolutely enhanced every kid last year that followed the platform. But I gave them a 3-page deal about kind of a cheat sheet on social media. And you can get your name off a board or put your name on a board really quick. I don't care if you're a good kid or not. These college coaches, perception's perception. So I gave them a cheat sheet, not like, hey, don't put on foul language, like exactly from what college coaches look for. And this was after my event, so I'm glad y'all are talking. And also in a good way and a way, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. I always tell this to kids, you can't stop a college coach once he sees something that he like about Marquise, then he can tell 20 of his peers really quick as they're sitting around at the hotel drinking a beer that night. And Marquise, so I advise them to create a basketball Twitter because you're kids, and keep because you're gonna have a girlfriend, you're gonna have your buddies, your homeboys, you're gonna like cars, video games. Make a name that's really hard to find, but I talked to them about building a basketball Twitter if you're going to follow coaches and what you should post. Everything is about perception, and it all matters. If that, like Mr. Hicks said, if that means you get half your school paid for as opposed to the opposite, I think those things are what I try to do with Uncommon, outside of the evaluation.
And now, once again, you mentioned, I say that again, I want to stress to you guys, this is Coach V. And he was a college coach for several years. And understand something, I'll reiterate. If one coach sees your son or daughter play and they like him or her, then every coach basically has a network. So when they go and leave the events, oftentimes him and maybe 2 or more others will go and congregate and fellowship while they're eating on the way or late on that evening or whatnot. And they share thoughts sometimes. Who did you like? Man, I like number 72. Man, you didn't see him. I didn't get to see him today. Man, you got to check him out. And that's how it goes. And so sometimes, whenever you see 2 college coaches there, think about it. Each coach has a staff, meaning that of co-workers or his boss, back where he works at. Plus, he has allies. So a lot of these regional events and camps, then when college coaches are in attendance, most of them at this time of the year, they're driving to and from their workplace to attend these camps. What do you think they're doing on the way back?
Talking.
They're talking. They're talking. And coach, so you've been a coach. Share to the audience, where did you coach at? How long you coached there? Tell them all of the different jobs you had in the coaching ranks. And also, let's get back to that part, because I think this is a very teachable moment. A lot of people really don't think about that on those rides back home and how valuable it is and whatnot. Tell them about yourself, Coach V.
I'll go quickly my career because, like I said, it doesn't matter anymore. What matters now is me producing with Uncommon. I mean, so that's what I tell people. That's why I hire college coaches on my staff, just because of what you said, because they're going to know coaches I don't know. They may like two kids. In my small player platform, they may like two kids that fit a JUCO up in Colorado, and boom, boom, they're telling three people on their drive home back to, like LSU, Shreveport, or Panola College, whatever. That was my last camp. So same thing's going to be with Houston. But I started my career in ~95, and it's crazy. I look back. So again, you kind of stay in your lane. My thesis, I mean, I was like, man, I'm the dumbest, the hardest working broke man. I really just don't know what else I can do because I wrote my thesis. I'm gonna give you a copy of it, Mr. Hicks. Next time I see you, maybe this Sunday, on the recruiting process. In 1995, I took a year and a half. That's how obsessive I am about it. Even then, I can look back. I took a year and a half studying college coaches all around the country. D1 guy. And each segment of my thesis, about a 200-page manual I had to write, was on the process. I was studying college coaches in as a GA. And a lot of verbiage in there, I reread that sucker after this last camp that's similar. And there's a lot of things that changed because of rules, but there's still a lot of similar things that go on with the process. But I started at McMurray in '95, and I didn't have a big name. I thought you had to win. I always thought, man, you got to produce before you ask for anything. And so I was blessed, man. We had a great little run, man. We're still like, I think, the all-time winners D3 over like a 7-year span. We won 79 straight games, man. It was a great run back then when I started. And that's when I thought I wasn't very good. And that's crazy. I just looked at talent alone. And so as I grew, I didn't really grow till I worked with Coach Rick Cooper and the current coach Mark Adams at Texas Tech now, when my next stop was at West Texas A&M. Now, there's two guys that taught me the importance about eliminating problems before they happen and what I learned in giving to these kids. At West Texas A&M, when we won the Lone Star, and that's what some of these kids don't get, even in Houston, D2 basketball is a beast in a Lone Star. It is a grown man's league. I mean, it is a beast. And it's, definitely, I think a lot of kids when I was at West Texas would pick a Division I late. I'm not going to name names, but like that D1 and one in 29 years, and we're number 6 in the country, and you could have a great experience. We've been recruiting you for 7 months. Make note about being a fit. And about 90% of the time, I can look back at my West Texas A&M days, and the last 3 weeks, somebody would come in from a D1 that hadn't won but 5 games in 4 years, and they would sign at D1. It never failed. About 90% of the time, a year later, that kid was calling West Texas A&M again. Too late. So be careful. I mean, if somebody really wants you and it's the right fit, D2 is really, really good basketball. West Texas A&M was my next stop. We won 2 Lone Star Conference championships. Again, I felt like I had to prove myself all the time and win to get to the next level. I wasn't a big politic guy, and that's probably why I'm broke today, because I still ain't a politic guy. I'm trying to make a difference, do it right, and all that kind of stuff. No offense, Mr. Adam. We're real talk today. We're talking about. And then I got a job in Division I, and at Texas State, we had to kind of revamp that program. And that's when I really realized D1 is a harder job, because you got APR, you got some other things. And I always say, you better give a D1 coach at least 3 years after I was in Division I to turn the program around. Now, 3rd year, if you ain't winning, okay, whatever. But you've got some things in Division I, especially now with the NIL and the portal, that you have to clean up with the APR, all that kind of intertwine. You can't just go out and recruit 7 dudes and outwork people like in D2 or Division III or NAI. There's some other things that factor in Division I and setting that tone. So after Texas State, we got it turned around. We got it back to about 19, 20 wins, man. I mean, I got to learn D3, D2, D1. Some things were the same. A lot were different.
Hold on, Coach. At Texas State, right? I'm sorry. At Texas State,
sir.
You said you turned it around. You were the head coach, or you was up on?
No, I was associate. I was the top. I was always the lead recruiting coordinator.
Okay.
So that, I mean, again, that's always a passion, man. I probably did my most coaching at McMurray as far as my style of play.
Okay.
And then I started a program from scratch. A guy in Houston, y'all would know, Todd Smith, at the same time left Rice. I started St. Thomas. We talked a lot. I started Our Lady of the Lake program from scratch, which was an NAIA program. So having said that, the formula when I talk to kids or what I'm doing now in common, whether you want to go to this level or that, I do have a background unusual where some people stay in the lane where I coached D3, D2, D1, and NAIA over 20 years. Right. So I understand the rules. I understand the scholarship packages. I understand the talent, what you really are. I mean, there were some guys in Houston I really thought I could have helped last year that were being told they were D1. I said, you'll never be D1. I said, you're maybe an NAIA. Well, you'll never be D1. Why would you lie to a kid? You can find an NAIA good fit that's up tempo and get your school back. And if they didn't want to hear it, I'm not going to be that voice that pats them on the back all the time.
Coach, I got one for you.
Go ahead.
I got one for you, Coach. Coach, you hit me with that one. So, Coach, you can see. I'm glad Jimmy set it up. Jimmy showed your vast resume. He allowed you to put your resume, so I can throw this comment out here.
Anything.
So you telling this guy, you just said, dude, you never be D1.
Never.
But Coach, we got a kid, and he might be a unicorn. We might have a kid, last name Jacobs here. Okay? Clayman Jacobs' son. What is I forgot his first name. He went D2, Dallas Baptist. Now he had a Division I, Jimmy, you might know. And now I saw.
Yeah, because of portal. He dropped about 25 a game in D2.
Yeah. So what if, not you, but what if somebody told him in the beginning, man, you'll never be D1? Now, hold up. Now.
You already answered your question. That's a unicorn. I'm trying to help a vast majority of kids.
Okay.
You're talking about the unicorn. I got some unicorn stories. Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
I had a kid last year that was D3 interest only.
Okay.
And he had different issues that didn't have I'm serious. That didn't have nothing to do with his jump shot.
Okay.
And I was consulting him on the back end because it's that final line. He won offensive players, so there was a unicorn there.
Okay.
If he did everything perfect with the uncommon approach, like that kid probably didn't have a real voice when he went to Dallas Baptist. If he was through uncommon and he had a 6-month platform, maybe he ends up D1. So, I mean, I had some kids last year that had D3 interest in the fall camps, and they followed all this behind-the-scenes insight and give them credit. Like some kid, they did everything from the Twitter, from things that I think can keep them off a Division I board. It could be foot speed. They worked it out. The next camp, I saw them fixing it. Very few make progress. So they ended up with Division I stats at the end of the year, and they got a Division I offer at McNeese State or Houston Baptist. That did all 4 of my camps. It wasn't their shot or their fact that it was this right here. It was what they didn't know that helped them the most. Okay. So some kids, when I say that, I shouldn't preface that.
Okay.
The dad kept telling me. Okay. I was trying to help that kid. The dad.
Okay, I got you.
The dad kept telling me, but Mr. Hatter, the dad kept telling me he's got 9 Division I's that are going to. I said, you would know, sir. I was trying to help him. I said, if he has not, you would have Rice's jersey.
I got you.
I said, do you have a picture? I sent him a picture like at Texas State, if we wanted you, this is what we'd be sending you. If not, please block out the noise. And the second thing I think is the market doesn't lie. Mr. Hicks, the market doesn't lie. Don't get me wrong. I want to get a kid to this highest potential level. I have nothing to do with that. I give them all the same roadmap. My platform, or the reason I get college coaches to coach my camps is because they have to make those decisions and they turn in a one-page template with projected level, highest level. So I give that kid a gap.
Gotcha.
Here's the key. Here's the key. At Christmas, what are you producing like? All right, before I really promote the heck out of you, are you averaging 9? Because my camp, it's not a 6-hour camp, it's a 6-month process. Are you averaging 19? Are you averaging 9? Or are you averaging 22? Every kid can still make progress. Just give them a roadmap, because again, it's easy to sell ice cream. Like Mr. Hicks said, I'm not an agent type. I can tell every kid I know. I've tried to create a platform that's scalable, promotes progress, and gets you in the right hands based on your production on and off the court. And that's really what I do is matchmake starting at Christmas time, because now you're getting into your resume, what you really are. And again, not the mid-major kid. Everybody, the mid-major kid's a mid-major kid. People already know about him.
And I want to applaud the gall, because not many people, and I understand what you meant earlier about that's that's not a blanket statement about you're not going to be D1 because you're going to D2. That's not what Coach meant. I understand it. I'm glad you clarified yourself after when asked. And what he meant was in that particular instance,
yes,
that was a situation of a kid claiming, albeit possibly fictitiously, that they had up to 9 offers on the table of Division I magnitude, when coaches know that that's not true. It's pretty easy to tell and find out nowadays just how easy it is for a coach to find a hype video on a kid. It's almost that easy to find out on the other side if that coach is serious about you or not. Now, here's a part that I want to ask you, because you've been in these situations before. There are a lot of times that coaches on the staffs we use the word recruit loosely, but recruit, mess with, solicit these kids and their families with the knowing there's a possibility as an assistant coach that you probably either A, got a chance to get a head coaching job somewhere next year, B, you may be changing jobs as another assistant coach at another school, and sometimes you recruit these kids for yourself, knowing that you might have an opportunity later on, and you already have did all of the hard work of getting an inside lane on the track. Can you explain? Have you ever been in that situation or had a colleague in that situation before that? And if so, how can parents know the difference? How can a parent know if this coach is not recruiting them just for later on purposes?
I was too stupid to do that. That's why I'm running camps now. I get what you're saying, Mr. Hicks, but I wasn't that guy. I know exactly what you're saying. If I'm going to go in your house back in the day, man, I wanted you to graduate. I wanted 4 years. I was talking to 3 college coaches at dinner after my last camp, and we talked about stuff like that. And they were like, Coach, why are you not still in the business? I said, God had different plans, man. I said, I wasn't going to get out the game, but maybe he had me away from it for 6-7 years, fighting to figure out a lane like I got now that can help hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids from Louisiana and scale out and not reinvent the game, but take what my experience and help a lot more kids and parents have an affordable platform that are serious about getting there. And the reason I said that is you're talking about guys getting that kid to get him a bigger, better job. And we talked about that over dinner. But I don't really have a lot, man. I was a culture guy, I told him at that dinner. I don't really have a great answer for that. I want to get to know a kid. I said, why are you in the business, man? I want a kid with me 2 or 3 years, 4 years. Even if I was back in coaching and college coaching, that's more my personality. That's who I won with. That's how I did it. So, and that's kind of saying about being a fit. I wasn't very good with that 1 year guy, and I wasn't very good with using a kid to get me a better job. I think it should be flipped. If you're recruiting a kid, you're recruiting a kid. That was me though. I mean, there are a lot of people that do it different ways. So, that's a hard answer for me, but again, I get what you're asking. I just don't have a great answer for that, but that happens both ways now with the portal and the NIL. Man, it's happening. It's a problem above, and that's why I created this, because my platform, again, Mr. Hatter, the vast majority of kids are going to be D2, NAI, if they even play college. Sure, understand that.
Right.
D3 or JUCO nowadays. There's plenty for the Division I kid. But even what I teach at my camps, and I had about 12 kids sign Division I that came through my events, and coaches called me about them. And you know what? They're not asking about talent, even on the D3 or NAI kid. They're asking about toughness, resiliency. The reason they follow my lead so much, I'm not going to ever, if a kid makes progress, the best compliment I got at the last camp from the Louisiana guys that came down, a couple of scouts that came to see what I was doing, said this is the most college-ready camp. So in the fall, I'm trying to teach them.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Coach?
It means 25 guys at my last camp, Mr. Hicks, were probably scholarship-level players. You know, there's a lot of players. There's a lot of players at Lifetime ducking the shit out of the ball that told everybody they couldn't play college. And we know there's a lot that goes into playing college. You got to have resilience. You got to have discipline. You got to make progress. You got to be benched. It's a hard world. I did one critical line. There's both ways, but the camp itself means there's college talent in there. That's why it's mostly invite. College ready means through the first 3 hours of my camp, who's putting their palms up every time there's a mistake? I mean, who's dead tired after a 20-minute college shooting series? Like, guys are hunched over on their knees. In a defensive drill, all I do, Mr. Hicks, and I'm passionate about this, and every parent in the goddamn building can see it. I said, y'all want coaches in the building, my fall camps, your kid would be scratched because I know people. In other words, if 20 coaches were in here, that'd be tell 20, 20, 20, 20, do 20 times 20. That's how many people know and scratch that kid before he's ready. I wait for the spring to bring all the coaches in. I try to invite the kids back, making progress so their school can be paid for. A little different formula, the mind of a college coach. I'm actually helping that kid in the fall. So in my defensive drill, Mr. Hicks, here's my 2 rules, and you should see you may see it Sunday. I hope they step up. You got to set at least 2 screens on the ball, and you can't switch. You should see how many layups kids get. Layup drill, layup drill, layup drill. They start arguing with each other, and I bring them together. And you want coaches in here that are offering money? You can't say screen right. I said, I got the 2 simple. Go watch some college practices. YouTube a college practice. So all I'm doing is, on the flip side, the kid that's looking around that has a fair shot, say, hey, screen right, boom, hey. He's putting himself on the map. And I'll stop and say, look, that kid's making me when I was a coach, and he wasn't on my radar. When I'm in the hotel, say, I'm going to go back and watch the Louisiana Ballers. I said at number 12, I just want to go see if he can play now. He caught my attention for the right reasons. He wasn't on my radar. He wasn't the 12 coaches or the 12 kids that my D1 coach told me to go watch, but there was 2 or 3 kids at the bigger showcases that are talking, playing hard, and now he's going to make me watch the second game only, because my schedule's full, a second game to see if he can play. So I'm doing that really in my camps. I'm taking all that experience, but it's a layup drill, Mr. Hicks, and all they can't do, they got to set 2 screens and they can't switch. The second screen is a layup drill, and that's what, now if it ain't, there's a kid named Devin McDonald. I'm going to put him on every radar in the country. That's why people follow my leads, because when it got tougher, Devin talked tougher. Devin dug through screens. He got over every screen. And it's, again, a defensive stops challenge. And most of the time, those kids in that portion that are college-ready defenders, they don't leave the main basket. They have college habits, or they have college hunger.
I got coach.
So
Coach,
Yes, sir.
Coach, I want to know, Coach. I mean, when is the next camp? Any openings in this camp this weekend?
Yes.
When is the next? Tell us how they.
October 10th.
Tell us how
October
they,
10th.
what they need to do. Tell them what they need to do.
UncommonBasketball.com, or they can message me on my Twitter, Uncommon B-Ball. Mr. Hicks is going to be in the building. I mean, I always say I don't want to. Mr. Hicks has already got plenty of fans, man, so I don't need to overpump him right now. But I say, if Mr. Hicks is right up, for me, the most credible resource for me, and not because I'm on the show. I said this before, whether it be Kuhnstadt, the guys that I still respect in Texas, when I was a recruiter, if I drove and wasted my time, that's the same thing I'm trying to do with my leads. But I have a little different platform with my background but if I drove and went back in the late 90s, like I said, when Mr. Hicks had his pen and his pad, and I saw a kid and it was pretty accurate, man, that's how you stay in the game. So when I was recruiting Uncommon, I ain't trying to help that parent understand. There's plenty of people selling ice cream. Yeah, I mean, for an NAI kid, I'm trying to get his school paid for. If they want to choose the opposite, 99% of the time, because of my background, the kid has nothing. That's what I was talking about earlier at that platform. The market doesn't lie. Coaches are dumb, too. I was dumb when I was a college coach. If I'm Division I and loved a kid, like your guy at Dallas Baptist, Mr. Hatter, and he had no D2 offers, I'm still waiting for somebody to offer. I'm like, what am I missing?
Coach, I heard you say a couple of things, and I had to write this one down. And I want you to clarify to the audience. You said the market don't lie. You said that, and I was waiting. You said it again. Explain that to the layman people, the people who are not. Tell that to the parent. Like we got Tori Raspberry on here. Her son Kobe Raspberry.
I've invited Kobe 94 times in my camp. If Kobe would come out and show he's college ready, he may get money tonight. He may get. I was telling you, it ain't gonna hurt. It ain't gonna hurt your interest. My camps in the spring, my fall camps are called gain interest.
Okay.
I'm trying to gain interest.
Okay.
Spring is interest to offers. I'm gonna talk about that later. To answer your question,
right.
If you're only getting Division III calls, you're a Division III player.
Right now.
Right now.
If you're getting two NAI calls, but they're not paying for your visit, then you're still probably a Division III player that's on an NAI board.
Okay.
If I was at NAI and I'm driving down to see you and home visiting, and I'm paying for your food and everything, they have different rules. And your visit, you're definitely an NAI player. When I talk to the kids before the camp, you can't lie to the guy in the mirror. Just like Urban Meyer can't lie. When y'all said, what's he thinking? And his fan, I can't lie in the mirror, whether I do right there. But when I'm in this lane, why would I lie to kids? So that parent, when I'm saying that, back then, because he wasn't getting Division I calls, he was getting that from a trainer.
Okay.
And I said, don't make that mistake.
Okay.
I said, I can help your son now because he is an NAI. So the market doesn't lie. If you're starting to play and perform, I try to give them that gap. I mean, I'm so proud of Uncommon watching a kid that had nothing get Division III, had Division III get an NAI, had an NAI get a Division II, had a D2 get a low major. I'm so proud of getting a kid up a level of having 3 components of my quote unquote service: the camp evaluations, the behind the scenes insight that can move you off the board or on the board, and then how I share leads to the market until you get your first offer. I have a strategy. And again, you may not fit in a 4-out 1-in. So if I get one NAI offer, that can lead to 3, and then a D2 that's you've been on their board, but that D2 ain't dumb. Man, Shreveport has offered them. They're doing their research. Good or bad, the market doesn't lie. A lot of parents, I tell them all the time, man, understand the mind of a college coach is what we're doing with Uncommon outside of the camps. Don't understand the mind of an ex-athlete. And why the hell are you paying? And I'll tell you about what I'm doing now at my camps. It's an awesome addition. Why the hell are you paying a profile company or a recruiting service? They ain't never seen a child in person. You ain't got robbed. They ain't tracking his progress. They don't care if he's laying in bed eating potato chips. They don't care about his grade. What are you paying for 12 months? Because I got kids. My kids may get disinterested by Christmas, but they're billion-dollar companies. I'm not going to sell that. I don't want to be like anybody else. I want results for both sides. Out of the non-Division I level, when I say non-Division I, I mean mid-major. I had about 10 kids go low major, damn good players that ended up at low major good programs last year out of the 84 top prospects. Awesome. So it's again, most people think it's a camp. It's the 6 months after you see exposure camps for 99% of kids. That's going to matter. And it's going to be 100% up to the kid to follow that platform while I do it, and that parent to trust. I'm going to do my part. I mean, why would I do this? Same thing with my old recruiting style, man. I wanted a kid for 4 years, maybe mix a few guys. Why would I do this and spend so much time? I want to make a living eventually doing it, no question, but I'm going to stay in my lane because it's different, man, like Shark Tank. Damn right I want to be number one in the country next year for the non-Division I kid. Pandemic's behind us. I want to get out to I want to go to Atlanta. I know people have been asking me to come to different regions. Yes, I want to take this like Point Guard College. It's just my baby now. I have 48 players. Put them up there and keep them and help guys out, man, on both sides, matchmake. But hey, it's been hard. It's been hard because everybody wants that ice cream. Right. Real talk. And these are kids nowadays getting patted in every. These are kids getting patted every day. It's okay. You D1. You all right. It's okay. I think that is a disservice. I think you worrying about that kid, and it's happened with one of my last evaluations, switching teams on your ass, and you're not going to. That's your fault. I may open a can of worms, but hey, I don't want to be like that. That's out there. So you said I'm gonna leave and go. I'm gonna go play for this select team because you're disciplining me. The hell you think college is? If you do it right, man. If you do it right, you're doing it for the kid. Man, I want to be uncommon, man. I got work. I may not make it to my half, to the 50 piece. I'm 49 right now, so I might as well try to get 75, 100 kids. I got 64 offers last year in spring, man. I might as well try to get 100. That are willing to not listen to this, that have some talent but just don't know, and give them a real opportunity in the spring. And coach, but trust me, I get the problem, man, with the select. It ain't select guys, man. There's a lot of people that are doing really good for these kids. The problem is the kid or the voice above, in the sense that they're going to lead teams. Do you not think college coaches know that? I even called a guy last year, Mr. Hicks. I said, I love this kid. He's like Thomas Maxey, man. I said, and he doesn't have his motor. I said, but he has his body, his gifts. I said, he looks like him. I go, what am I missing? He said, Coach, you should have seen him in our shoe team circuit. I finally called. He said he was laying down a towel. His body language sucked. Are you sure? I said, he responds to me. I said, in my camp, maybe nobody's ever coached him. I said, in my camp, I said, maybe he has a shot. It was a juke. I said, give him a shot because in my camp, I'm correcting him. I'm talking. I said, I can see it in his eyes. So again, man, be careful with that EYBL free stuff because those kids, man, those coaches are looking at that stuff like you laying down with a towel over your head when you get stuff. You're lowering it. You're getting off that board. You're going down to that. You're going JUCO. So I don't know. Real talk. Why not?
Now, Coach V, a while ago, you mentioned about the pat on the back and the persons that always telling the kids, well, don't worry, you're D1. And in a nutshell, that other guy, he don't know what he's talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. You're D1. Oh, and you mentioned, you said that part is your fault. The person that's doing that patting on the back. And elaborate on that.
I couldn't do that. I did select 5 or 6 years ago when I started on Common. And it simply was my son who was in 9th grade, 10th grade. We spoke about this. And I'd come home from college. And every time I come home in 8th and 9th grade, and I don't think this is the kid's fault. Every time I come home, the 2 best players on this team were paying no attention in the hallway, and they were talking about habits. And I was over there eating my hot dog. And, in the college ranks, and it was just bothersome to me internally. That's my son. And I didn't care about basketball. if he can play or not. Luckily, he's in college, but I finally said in 9th grade when I got out of coaching and removed, I said, look, son, I'm going to start something uncommon. I don't care about no players or talent. I'm going to show you what it's like if somebody ever invests $36,000 in you and what that summer's like, 8 hours a week. And we're going to do that. We'll play. The byproduct will be playing tournaments. And I said, if you can do that, you'll be better in life. If you do that, you'll be the better. You'll in 5 months, you'll be such a better player. But I said, I'm going to show you what it's like if I've got money in you. I said, that's uncommon. So in other words, those 9th graders who I thought had a real shot, if you told me about habits, Mr. Hicks, every weekend, and I'm not even looking at you in the eyes, and you start me the next game, shit, I'm 14. Good luck. I'm 14. You're starting me every game, but you're talking to me in the hallway. That becomes a part of that kid's personality. What you're going to do, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to play hard. I don't have to, does that make sense, Mr. Hicks? So really, yeah. I don't think it's their fault. They're trying to do their best. I think the problem is if a kid doesn't get his way, he's threatening in the hallway to go to the Houston so-and-so or the drive name. He's leaving teams. That hurts his recruitment in a lot of ways, unless you're mid-major or above. I'd say this at every camp. A coach will give you a chance, but you got a 1-year chance. Then you can go to JUCO, the streets, NAIA, but you're still going to have to learn this. You can't jump ship. So they're trying to keep these kids together, and it's a wild west right now with that portal, and I think it's showing up with the expansion of the portal. So, again, I'm going to put myself way over here in this lane. Don't get me wrong. I want to get kids to Division I. If people are listening, don't think Division I guys call me. It's all the same, though, amongst the levels when there's money involved. I could give you the same 3 questions college coaches ask me outside of talent and pretty much at every level. And so the thing I do now differently is I just match make, and I'll promote progress. In other words, if I see Mr. Hicks is becoming a better communicator, a better student, a better teammate, I'm going to double promote him. It's not like I'm going to not promote the other one. He's top prospect report. I have a formula. If you win in my camps, you're in. There's no politics in. The baddest boys in my camp win, not the best talent. At the end of the day, the baddest boys in my camp win. They finished in that top game because they had to win their way through 5.5 hours of college readiness stuff. And if you're not ready in my fall camps, then go get to work and get that noise out and get yourself better. Don't wait till the last second, man. I say that. I want every kid to get something out of a fall camp, and that ain't exposure. They start high school ball in a couple of months. That's when I do my pushing behind the scenes. I'll have all these leads. That's when I do my heavy pushing, if that makes sense, fellas. Because I may love a kid. Like I said, I may love a kid. He could be averaging 4.2 a game and got a girlfriend. That's the truth. I mean, he may. So I wait till they start seeing, hey, is he producing at the level I think he is? I have a pretty good formula, but is he producing now? So
now I want to ask you, when people go to camp, Coach V, because a lot of times the reports or the reviews from a camp is comprised and distributed to various platforms, to college coaches, and whatnot. How does a parent know, or how can they find out if that particular camp, if your particular camp is actually sending the intel out, or what are they sending out about their kid to these, that's not for the general public's consumption?
That's a great question. I mean, I have a formula for the top 9, which is earned. And of course, I ain't no dummy. I have usually 3 college coaches on staff. So we do 1 staff pick of each. So usually I write on 12 kids. It's more in depth. It's the same write-ups I'd write if I was signing a kid or offering a kid. So a college recruiting coordinator can decipher and read it, and it gives that kid a gap. So in other words, it's about a paragraph long, strengths, weaknesses, fit, potential level, just certain things that, a college coach, they run a high-low and need a pick and pop 4. He may look at 2 kids, and those 2 kids would move up on the board. I know one thing, they'll look based on the results of last year in general. If you want to know why my reports, that's a good question, because it's not really a subscription and all that. I said it's about 500 plus coordinators, and that's growing because of the lane I've stayed in and the problems above. But 64 to 84, whether it was me, Mr. Hicks, whether it was Bigfoot, I know for sure that my portion has something to do with that kid getting an extra look. Whether they see him at a showcase or my camp, doesn't really matter. So 64 to 84 top prospects in the 2021 camps, which was last year, signed full scholarships at various levels across the country. So it's not like I'm sending it ain't Texas schools. I'm talking about from Lincoln Trail, Junesy calling me, to Tyson I in California at Hancock College. So that's a formula that I think when I say proven results, it's what I'm writing on, the projected level, and where they ended up. From day one, I had Jordan Roberts God dang. Finally, my man, Coach Lutz at Corpus Christi called me. I said, bingo, take him tonight. I said, that kid's ceiling's a lot higher. That to me is why I think the reports have validation, if that's what you're asking. And I've added some, profile links for top prospects, as you'll see at my next camp, so I can share leads, because technology is not my thing, at a much higher level, and give a coach a code to find prospects that fit their level. So I think the 64 of 84 that made my top prospect reports with my 12-player format, all getting full rides, is pretty good validation that coaches are following those leads. I know, nobody gives I know how many people call me a week, and they're not asking about talent. And my camps, Mr. Hicks, are really not in the fall or the summer. They're not about exposure. I'm trying to expose a kid in everything he can fix. That's why I don't have anything but college coaches on staff. I don't want them to write a kid off. What if there's one kid, like Mr. Hatter said, that says, holy crap, I couldn't win nothing the first 3 hours at his camp, and I'm ranked 7th in this city, and mama would say, hey, that was a wake-up call, thank you. He's been get. So there has been mama saying that, and now that kid has 6 months before spring camp to fix his grades, his attitude, his body language, so he can get his education paid for. I try to mentor that kid. He can call me anytime.
I got something for you, Coach. Underrated Hoops asked a question. I think it's Mr. Ardwan. He said, what advice do you have for a player that has some interest but no offers going into their senior year? What do they need to show?
Oh, man. Where is this man? Well, first of all, interest is not an offer. And so I will say this. I don't want to, when I was a college coach, what I did do, Mr. Hicks, is I was interested in everybody. If I went to Houston, I'm going to tell 65 guys I'm interested in them. I'm only bringing 2 back on my board. So, I'm just saying, what you're talking to me about, well, that's in politics. Yeah, I'm in your gym at Fort Bend Bush. We're interested, baby. You look good today. I know what I'm looking for. I'm not, but why? I have nothing to lose by being interested. When I had money involved, nothing to lose, everything to gain if that kid turned out to be something. But I know what 3 guys I'm taking back to West Texas or Texas State or even NAI. So that part, when you were talking about earlier, like the politics and bringing a player, I was like that. Heck yeah, I was like that. I'm gonna shake hands with the best. I just flip that with what I do now and try to mentor that. And offer, I will decipher at my events or camps, or if I'm consulting a kid, if they say we got real interest, I'll make a call. I'll say, hey, send me that paperwork or send me that text. I'll tell you if that's interest. Or if you're, in other words, I wouldn't depend on interest at all until you actually have, again, an official visit. You're getting calls from a coach. if you're getting calls from the head coach and you're really on their board and you're probably in their top 5. If you're getting, official visits, a kid asked me 2 weeks ago, a dad asked me, he said, hey, man, they're flying my son in. I said, do you think they're interested? I said, they want him. It was a D2 program.
Oh, look.
I said, no, they want him. I'm not at West Texas. I ain't flying you in from Georgia unless we want you. So what you can do to do better, be a better student, be a better teammate, actually be tough, not fake tough. Fake tough is kicking a chair and talking shit. Be tough. Tough's getting through a screen, communicating on defense. Nobody does it in select. The ones that do it, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Every coach in the gym tries to like them. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you? If you really want to play college and get your money, why wouldn't you communicate and play hard as shit and defend and be a two-way player and communicate and be college ready? Talent's the easiest thing to assess. If y'all want a player, go get Anaris Brandon from Judson High School. That D1s are calling me on him. I thought he was D2. What does Anaris Brandon do? He walks in the gym and he competes. He defends. He'll rebound. He plays both ends. He talks to his teammates. It's crazy. There's your unicorn on that question. So why at my camps, when I say that and we start the first set of drills, it's quiet as a mouse. I love having that. I love doing that in the fall. Who are you going to blame? Your high school coach? Your high school coach makes you not talk?
Coach,
makes you not be a great teammate?
Hold on, Coach. Coach, you just jogged my memory, Coach. Coach, I went to Jimmy's event this weekend, the Super 16. I got that right this time, Jimmy. You know I mess up all the damn time. Coach, I didn't see that many people loud and talking. These kids at my game.
How many guys that can put buckets up were guarding the best player?
I'm just telling you, Coach. No, but somebody told me you walk in a gym, if it's a quiet gym, it's a losing gym. Some coaches then told me that when they walked in a high school gym, if it's a quiet, but I didn't see that much talking, Coach. And
well, you go. I'm giving that guy his answer.
I know. No. I'm just telling you. You jogged my memory when you said that, but I got something for you and Jimmy. Because I mean, it's one thing.
People think I'm stupid. People think I'm stupid when I compared that kid last year. I'm not gonna name his name to Thomas Maxey. When I watched Thomas Maxey,
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, Tyrese. His dad. I think his dad's Mr. Maxey. My bad. Man, like I said, I'm an old Pollock man. I just look at Maxey's Maxey. So again, if you want to take notes. I'm not saying you can be Maxey, but go watch Maxey play. And even if he was not on every radar and maybe 2 inches shorter and not that talented, his approach gets the attention of every scout. So I also say that you're only as good as a guy you can guard if you're not on every ranking. Why not make your coach? And I said, when I was a college coach, on every scout.
Coach, I got to get another one in, Coach. I got to get this. People want to know. We got questions, so I got to get one in. And Jimmy, you can answer this one too. He said, I'm lucky enough. He said, lucky enough to get some offers for my son, Justin Norris. Should you negotiate when receiving an offer, or how do you go about such negotiations? What negotiations are you talking about, Mr. No, do y'all understand that question? Because when I saw, Coach, I've been trying to hold you up because I wanted you to address it. What is?
When I'm helping a kid, I'd have to see the paperwork to know really, because sometimes they get. I mean, and I'm not saying that's happening in this case, but sometimes they think it's an offer. Since I was Division III, Division II, NAI, and Division I, I say you can email me the paperwork and I'll check it out and know if it's a financial aid package, or you may be negotiating just financial aid and grants and things of that such. So I don't know how to answer that in particular, but I can tell you if it's a real offer, like they want your child, or if it's a financial aid package and they're just trying to get you to enroll in school right now. I mean,
let's pretend it's an offer, Coach. Let's forget the fake offer. Let's pretend he got an actual offer from Boogaloo State.
And I would sit down as a family. I would sit down as a family and, again, look at the market, look at the academics. And, again, people think about ball only, and that drives me nuts. That's it. Because I'd sit down as a family and say, son, could you stay in that town if you weren't playing basketball or if you were sitting on a bench your first year? Could you stay? Do you like the academic program? I mean, everybody's talking about ball. I mean, and pro. I mean, this is the problem again coming up, and what I'm trying to help with our kids. And I mean, right, wrong. Could you fight through your first year and a half or so? Is it a good fit for us as a family? Before you think about negotiation or whatever, you should start with those pillars, because again, if it's a partial and all those other three things match up, and things get tough in the basketball world, but that's a school you want to be at, and you have a good package in front of you, that's what you should make your decision on. If it's not a school you want to be at, then, and you're not, like I said, it's not mid-major or above, then I think you should be, again, that's okay if you don't want to accept it, but I would stay in touch, and I would have some advice for them if they were coming through an uncommon camp or something on how to appropriately stay in touch and make sure that you're not, because I've seen guys big time, it's too many eyes, and that spreads like wildfire, and they got nothing. So I'm saying, I mean, be careful on big time in a level that you're currently at. And that's the option. Maybe even 2 years from now, no matter how hard you work, that may be your max potential. So that's why I kind of say a fit. To me, you should be looking for the right fit. And we started this conversation by saying at West Texas, 99% of the time when these knuckleheads would pick the losing Division I that's lost 8 years in a row because they were D1, the next year they wanted to come back. Too late. We were too busy being in a regional tournament. And we wanted you for 7 months. We knew you. We wanted you. You fit. And so, again, really, from that parent standpoint, what are they looking for as a family? Because some are just looking for D1. Parents said, and I worked with a lot of people since starting Uncommon. Been doing it a little bit 5 years, but 3 years, like all out, pandemic, a year removed, like everybody. But and some parents just want their child at the right fit and want real help. They just want to help navigate through the process, not basketball. What's this mean, coach? They call me anytime if they're coming through my camps, even if they're not. I mean, there's no self. They're asking those questions. I'll say, if I've seen their child in person, I could help that kid better with that question. I'd say, send me that paperwork. Let me just check it out tonight for you. Anything I can do to help, man.
My man, Jimbo.
I mean, Coach V, now this weekend's camp, tell them again where it is, what times, and how can somebody secure one of the spots if they are interested in coming out to on Sunday. I will be in the building.
Let me say this
as well.
That's awesome. And I think first time I ever met Arch was right before the shutdown. And he just got recommended, and I think he does a great job with highlighting the kids and has a good following. So Coach Arch with Forever Young Films will film the camp. It'll be college coaches on staff. So I would say if anybody's listening, you just have interest, you need to sign up for this camp. I'm very confident this year as opposed to, when I was sitting by the river and the pandemic shut me down, I didn't know if I was going to make it through. So I'm very confident in last year's results. I'm very confident in the fact that we have a great formula for you understanding the interest in offers, but also gaining interest going into the high school season. So with all those guys on board and 48 players in attendance, you can go to my site. But if you're an all-district player, you don't need an invite. I'm inviting kids after this call today that I want to see there, that I think absolutely need this camp. And there's your question, Mr. Hatter. Those are the guys last year. Let me make sure. It's easier for me to help a kid that I didn't think's not a no-brainer if I have 6 months than spring when all bets are off. That's the ones that I said were NAI. Maybe they could have been Division I. The guys that came to the fall camps that had nothing, like an Aaron Gonzalez that ended up at a Division II full ride, they came to the whole platform. They ain't about the camp. Aaron did his part, took that roadmap, took that insight, and we built some lists, and he did what he had to do. So we had some more time. So, but if you're all district, you don't have to get an invite from me. You're in. If you're under recruited and you're all district, Houston's a numbers game, man. It's hard. There's plenty of college talent that gets overlooked in Houston. That's why I used to go to Houston all the time. That's why I love going to Houston in my camp. You can find 10 kids that nobody's even looking at that are college players. So if you're all district, you're in. If you're a coach, select coach or high school coach that has a kid, man, that's hungry, working his butt off, and he's getting under recruited, and you like him and you think he can play, you can DM me as a referral, man. I'll invite that kid every time. I mean, there's some really great select. That's what I'm saying by select coaches. Don't get me wrong. They do a great job in trying to help the kids. They're in this world where, jumping, they got different problems. I couldn't do their job. I could do the job I'm doing. And then invites are going out. There's only about 20 spots left because Houston, I mean, it's such a good market, and I've had such great success, and know a lot of coaches out there that some guys have already filled it up, and some returners from my camp in the summer that were the best players at that camp that you came to, Mr. Hicks, in the summer. I always invite them back, whether they're on any radars or not. So that is how you can get into the camp, uncommonbasketball.com. On my Twitter, Uncommon B-Ball, you can message me with a referral. But if you're all district, you can just take a spot. And that could be a 24, 23, or 22. And the reason I say all district is because to me, with the level of competition and invites that we try to bring in, I mean, and the numbers game in Houston, at least that makes you a relevant high school player. You should have a platform. You may not stand out with 6 courts going, and you got to do showcases. I'm not saying that, but you may not be the kid with 6 courts going. You may be like that kid, Devin McDonald. He's got to clean up some of his game from Louisiana, but shit, in that 3-on-3 defensive portion, he left his mark. Every college coach knew he was the baddest defender. So already every guy that's called me about a defensive guy, they're looking at that kid. They're not going to offer me, but I felt very comfortable based on what Devin did. There was no fake hunger there. Devin can guard. I mean, that kid can fly. So again, everybody says they can guard. And that's the other thing I like to do at my camps in the fall. Some kids play hard, high school hard. In my camps, I try to get all 48 the way we set it up and design it. If all 48 are playing hard, you'll know if you're a college player then. Those guys will start to separate. Because now you got to, everybody's playing hard. It ain't a showcase for the best talents, just hitting buckets. Everybody's playing hard and they're relevant players. So that's how you can get in. Any coach can DM an under-recruited kid they think has worked their butt off this summer that wouldn't stand out in a giant showcase. All district kids are automatically eligible to attend, and then I'm extending invites out over the next 3 days to fill these 20 spots. We've got a good group coming in already that I think are starting to see Uncommon just as a backdrop, as a good thing to add to your resume. You're going to do a lot of things, but it's a good addition. So, and I'm looking forward to having, like I said, you and Arch on site too, man. You guys are going to make my camp much better. I'm just going to get after it.
Wait a minute, where's it going to be at again? Hey, Coach, I might sneak out there this way. So, Coach, if I'm not on that golf course, I'm coming to see you, Coach.
Bring your hot rod.
Okay, I got it.
Bring one of your 6 Bentleys.
No,
I ain't never been in that.
No, we can't afford.
I ain't never been in a nice car in my life. Bring just one of your 6 Bentleys, please.
I'll bring something for you to ride in, though.
Please. It's at Open Court Sports Complex, Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's 1 to 6 o'clock. Okay. And it's at Open Court Sports Complex in Katy. I mean, I call it Houston Camp.
Oh, the one in Katy. Okay.
I really like that facility because, my events are smaller, more, and I get the whole half to my side, and I only use 2 courts, so kids get real looks.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, so we don't have we're only doing 2 courts, so those kind of facilities I look at in the bigger cities to run my stuff because the big ones, man, there's a lot of traffic going in, so we'll be isolated over at Open Court, and everybody get a real good look. So, and again, I hope it fills in the next couple of days, but they can get on there today and bring it.
Coach, I got a feeling it is because I see the comments. I'm getting texts and stuff like that. I see the comments, but Jimmy, what else you got for Coach before we get out of here?
Yeah, and it's of course, it's that time, and we get out there on Sunday. Once again, Coach V with the uncommonbasketball.com. That's the website. Uh, does a super job, and you guys can see his passion. And one thing about it,
Yeah.
a lot of you parents, you should want, for a change,
Yeah.
you should want somebody that's not going to sit there and play the coochie coo game with your kids in regards to this recruiting process. The quicker that you get somebody that can tell you the truth, think about it. It could possibly save you a bunch of time and a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Hey, let me make sure they understand. Mr. Hicks, I do want to make sure you understand this. One of the big changes I made that really scaled this is I only tell you constructively the truth, but I showcase your strengths and give you time to fix what can increase your recruitment. When I got better personally is when I stopped worrying about college coaches losing money. That wasn't my job. Or if a kid was tough. My job was to provide 3 pillars where I can mentor that kid, like you said, with the truth, but only showcase the best version of them. I don't say anything anymore. So I had to reprogram the college coach, if that makes sense. Some people used to hide from that. I don't do that, and that's why the platform works. It never hurts your interest. A kid, Marquise from Louisiana, was a beast this weekend. I mean, a grown man, looked like Jay Crowder, and I kept wanting him to respond. That kid could have anything he wants in the world. He can make money, whether it be football or basketball. And he dominates offensively, and he's by far and God bless his parents. I think their voices afterwards when they sat in the hallway with me, the kid, you could see it in his eyes, wants to do well. He's about at 40% of his platform. So again, we're having a speech I'm not going to talk about, that I'm giving them insight, but I'm only going to showcase the best version of him because he's a full scholarship kid that's going to go JUCO or D2 right now, but he's a mid-major talent. I want him to get to mid-major. Does that make sense? I want him to end at mid-major. So that's up to Marquise. But so anything I do on the backside is between me and the kids and the parents after events, and I only showcase the best of the coach. I matchmake. That gives that kid all the ownership and at least the family a little bit of insight. And if Marquise's lights come on, oh my God, he'll make money. That's how bad that boy was. Well, just natural talent. Tough.
Thanks, Coach. Coach, let me show you something. This is what makes – hey, let me tell you something, Jimmy. I didn't have this show when my son came out of high school. When I didn't have this show. Where Glenn Bishop, all people all over the world are going to be able to watch, Glenn Bishop Jr., a.k.a. Winter is Coming, first team all-district, he would be at your camp. This was so important about this chop shop, y'all. I mean, I'm listening to me, y'all. It just popped to me when my son came out of high school. We didn't have all of this, Coach. We didn't have none of this. We didn't have Coach Van.
Well, hey, if you can find me an investor to start doing marketing for me, because this is the only marketing I got is once every 5 months with you. If you can find me somebody, it's just me and it's still just me and my trunk. I got a yellow bin from Walmart, and I know I want to figure that out, but like I say, I'm getting better with technology.
Hey, we'll talk off like Jimmy. Jimmy? We'll talk off camera. We'll talk off camera. But no, Coach, I'm just talking about how unique this platform is. Being a dad whose son came up in this rank, we didn't have this access, man. It's just unbelievable.
The reason I'm passionate. The reason I'm passionate too, sir, is you don't know my 5-year journey. I've been watching a lot of guys that were right on the end of giving up. It's been there's a lot of noise around me. I didn't do any of this. I just stayed in my lane. In other words, it was hard. The world around what's out there. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm saying everybody was questioning me and dogging me around 5 years ago. But again, with my experience, my background, and my passion for trying to make a small impact, knowing what I think would absolutely lead to higher results. But finding my formula took almost half a decade after 20-something years of coaching. It wasn't overnight. I was staying up in the lab trying to say, how do I do this? How do I get? About 2 years ago, I think I got the perfect platform, and a pandemic shut it down. This past year, my passion was results. The spring was 64 of 84 kids getting results and getting offers. I'm absolutely confident now that it's time to scale, that I can see a little bit of light. And I don't want to go too deep in it, but it wasn't. So why would I tell a kid a lie when it took 5 years of me working 90-hour weeks to make this come to life? When everything around me and noise and showcases looked better and highlights looked better. There were some tears and sweat, some Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stories, 70. I had to listen to guys. When you have nothing left is when you give the most. I listen to that every day in the pandemic with eviction notices. Of course, I'm going to keep fighting. Now it's time to grow. Now it's time to help more and more kids. But so I had to fight for 5 years. You're going to have to fight for 5 months for your dream. But give them a platform. That's what I mean. I'm not going to hurt any kid, but don't act like you got robbed. I start every camp with trust you. If you love basketball, if you want to, I'll give you the best roadmap. I'll help you. Now you can do it. But why do y'all keep saying, I don't trust the coach? I don't trust his select coach. I don't trust where they play him. Trust you when you're lifting weights. Trust your ass when you're on the track running. When you're out there on the court and I say communication is important. Say screen right. Trust you. Do your bit. But I'm going to give you the roadmap. And in the spring, now let me make sure the guys that wait late come to the fall camp because you have 6 months. The spring guys that come to my camps that I'm inviting now, they think it's a one-hit wonder. And those are the guys that I pray for that fall short because in the spring, who do you think I designed my camps for, Mr. Hicks, in the spring? I designed them for the 25 college coaches in there. I don't prep nothing, Mr. Hatter. We go right off the bat. If you ain't talking, if you can't get through screens, I want the college coaches to get their questions answered in the spring so you can get an offer. The fall is a roadmap, exposure, and a little bit of other stuff involved to give you a nice 6-month platform to gain some real interest. The spring, I'm trying to get you offers. It's my toughest.
Well, there we have it, man. And of course, Sunday, 1 p.m. at the Katy Open Sports Complex. Go to uncommonbasketball.com for more info. Thanks a bunch, Coach V, for chopping it up with us on the Chop Shop. Thanks a bunch for you guys for hanging in there and presenting all those questions. Sorry for the question we didn't get a chance to get to. It is that time, and you guys know it's time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Tuesday. We'll be right back at it on Women Rock Wednesday tomorrow on the Chop Shop.
Yeah.
But be sure to share the show. We have to be consistent on doing it. And Coach V, we're going to invite you to go to our YouTube page and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. All you simply do is hit the subscribe button on our YouTube platform if you haven't done so already. We're inviting you to do so. And once again, guys, for Robert Hatter, of course, Chris Seawalk is gone. We'll be back on tomorrow, talk some more sports, and talk some more, of course, the NBA preseason season has started. We'll talk with Dabble a little bit into that.
My Spurs won. My Spurs looked good last night, but we look good.
Coach V.
Coach, they might not win a game this year, Coach. Keep going.
We won by 30 last night.
Who y'all play? My sister.
Utah.
Hold up. Hold up. My ladies on the lake. What's the name of that school you started over there? My ladies on the lake. Yeah, that's who y'all.
But anyway, hey, guys, on that note, we'll see you guys on tomorrow, man. Peace. We up out of here. Chop shop. It's time to land this plane, man. Get me up out of here.
I'm out of here. Bye, man.
Meyer. Didn't do nothing.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro, let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop.